What is going on, Kaspa family? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you are doing well. Even if you're not a member of the Kaspa community, big up to you. So in this video, we want to talk about IGRA Labs, and we want to talk about the impact on Kaspa and why Kaspa really does need a proper DeFi in order to leap into the next level. So smash a like, guys. It's been a minute, of course, and in this video, we want to talk about Kaspa. Now, Kaspa for me is one of the most underrated layer ones out there, purely because it is in a small group of cryptocurrencies that offer or that try to, in fact, it's the only one that I know that's trying to solve the trilemma. Now, in terms of the performance so far, if you look at historically, Kaspa came out early to mid 2022. Went absolutely on a parabolic run until 2024. Then, of course, people took profits and whatever. The market slowed down anyway. We didn't have a bull market for alt season across the board, but Kaspa did have an alt season, and people forget that Kaspa came from a very, very low market cap to go all the way to well over $3 billion, which is absolutely insane. But the criticism has always been, and again, when you make an investment into a cryptocurrency, what you want to see is an ecosystem growth, okay? Now, the criticisms here has been smart contracts, of course, and so far, with the hard fork, with the layer 2 IGRA coming, and with several other projects, NFTs, meme coins, you name it, the whole 9 yards is happening. Of course, Dimensions developed the bridge for EVM and Solana, and that is going to be key because you are going to need extra liquidity coming from other ecosystems, and Solana is probably the biggest, or one of the biggest after Ethereum ecosystems out there for DeFi. So this was really, really cool to see that. Now, Kaspa's market cap still remains under $1 billion. Kaspa's price is above 3 cents. Still plenty of time, no rush. In this video, I'm not asking you to go buy Kaspa. I'm not asking you to buy IGRA, but I want you to obviously look into the reasons why this could be a pretty decent time to look at this. So no sequencer. So Bitcoin grade security. And of course, Kaspa is compared to Bitcoin. Often you'd hear that. And that's a unique selling point, in my opinion. And censorship resistant, as we are seeing what's going on with the Clarity Act, what's going on with all of these, since Trump came in, you've got your stock market and oil markets being manipulated, and you've got censorship everywhere. It's a shit show out there. So broader rollup with no centralized sequencer, front run resistant and censorship. Kaspa always stands as a fair launch, the average man's cryptocurrency, but think of long term, in my opinion. And of course, it's going to be fully EVM compatible with over 400K plus Solidity devs, no cold starts. This is a big, big, big development. And in my opinion, their roadmap, IGRA's roadmap, is pretty well laid out. And I think the team is quite cool. I think they are not hyperbolic, and they are definitely not in the business of hyping things and just getting you to buy this stuff. Even I'm telling you right now, the public auction remains for the next kind of 4 days. And it's still there. Look, 4,000 CAS, 500 CAS, ICAS. So you can obviously look into this if you wanted to get more into this. Floor price started at 0.006. And right now, I think it's like 1 cent. But this is a fantastic development. And in my opinion, these guys have done pretty well to put together the project. Would love to have them on the channel. Of course, at some point, you want to be talking to people that are contributing to a major network like this. But so far, 2 million in CAS volume in less than 2 hours. That is absolutely marvelous. And when I say marvelous, I mean, you want to see the economy for CAS grow. What we saw with Tau was the the emergence of the subnets consuming more and more Tau, more rewards being given in Tau, and the whole ecosystem is just starting to blow up. But look at this, 3 million in CAS volume, 800 bids, and so forth and so forth. So I am absolutely over the moon to see that obviously Kaspa is now having its own ecosystem, its own use case, and that for me is everything, because more and more of the DeFi will also come to through IGRA. So early adopters are testing the DevNet, developing applications, and then you've got all of these Kaspa related apps, all being created on the L2, specifically applications that are all going to be using Kaspa, burning Kaspa, utilizing Kaspa. And of course, this particular project is about 10 billion total in terms of the circulation, or the total number of coins. Okay, so that's the public auction. Still time to go. But why am I so excited? Well, I'm excited because if you look at Kaspa's overall metrics, right, they are down the kind of street where I want to be looking at cryptocurrencies. So circulating supply aging 3 to 4 years. You've got really, really good metrics when it comes to the distribution, the circulation, and of course, what's happening with the Kaspa by address size. So you've got really these kind of people here. 100,000 plus is a very cool area to be in, around 24,734 addresses. You've got a lot of people here. I mean, you've got a massive amount of people here also holding 1,000 Kaspa or more, 10,000 or more. And then as you go, of course, you've got the list gets smaller and smaller because you've obviously got 10 million plus. But there's still over 3,000 people or wallets that hold over 3,000, Kaspas, which is absolutely insane. But this is where I think people make the mistake. 100,000 Kaspa right now, around $3,000. I think it's a fair assessment in terms of where a good amount of Kaspa addresses holding the 100,000 plus Kaspa. I think this is the right place to be looking at, because if obviously Kaspa hits $1 or a couple of dollars, then you've made a life-changing amount of money, and you can see the drop off here in terms of the Kaspa price. But the addresses have pretty much kept going up, in my opinion. There's a little dip there, but overall, if you look at this blue line, that is what I would aim for as an exposure. So regardless of, price crossed addresses here back on the 12th of September 2024, that's when we saw the prices of Kaspa go into the multi-year bear market or downtrend. But we just saw the 100K plus addresses growing. And of course, you see a bit of a dip there, but then it goes over 25,000. So that is a good place to start if you are looking at Kaspa. Okay. So overall, bond markets are still under distress. Don't listen to anybody who predicts the market this way or that way. That's not what it's all about. This is all about accumulation. We are in a bear market. There will be a recovery year. Right now, we're still potentially heading further down. Nobody can guarantee that, but I'm so happy that Kaspa is finally being considered as a serious player. Of course, Jonathan there is a legend amongst crypto circles. So take a look anyway. If you're holding Kaspa, I think this is a very, very exciting time for you to be invested in the ecosystem. And again, anything can happen, but Kaspa looks like long-term, being fair launch, being, it's almost like a mini Bitcoin in its right. And the moment it gets more and more DeFi coming from various different angles, the better. Smash a like if you hold Kaspa. It is a serious layer one. And of course, there is no unlocks or anything like that. Only situation right now is majority of the inflation comes from the miners. And of course, we're going to find a way to surpass that. And by creating IGRA and these other layer twos that consume cash for breakfast, I think cash gets back to a level or will go to a level where most people will be surprised. Let me know if you hold Kaspa in the comments. Of course, we'll bring you more videos, and nothing I say here is financial advice. I'm only telling you exactly how I read the market, what I see happening right now. And of course, if you invest in it, it's up to you. But one day we'll talk about it as a incredible opportunity. Take care, guys.